Today, I want to share with you something that I shared with my email newsletter just a couple of weeks ago. And this is actually something that I realized only last year. And ever since, I've been trying to improve in this area in order to elevate my career and to become a better software developer. And what I realized was that writing skills can really help you out in your career as a developer, even if you don't plan on making a blog and publishing something to the public. Well, how is that, you might ask? Well, I thought today let's go through 6 reasons why you actually should invest in your writing skills as a software developer. Reason number 1 is that you get exposure. So writing puts your name out there, and that's how people find you and your work. Many avoid writing, thinking that they don't have anything that anyone would care about. But the truth is that everyone has a unique value to share. For example, sharing how you solve a problem can help someone else struggling with that same issue. And here's why it matters. First of all, exposure builds your personal brand. And with a strong personal brand, you attract opportunities, which means job offers, speaking gigs, if that's something you are or you want to do. You get more friends and more that kind of stuff. And also, when you are visible, so you are writing and getting your name out there, that creates trust and credibility for you in the industry. So what I would do if you have never published anything online, or even if you have, I would just create an account to X and start publishing tweets there at least daily, or not even daily at the beginning, but just get your first tweet out there because that's the, I think, easiest way to get started, because the tweets are just so short form content, so you can just share an idea or a bug you fixed or some problem you faced that day. So that's just an easy way to get started. Okay, that was reason number 1. Reason number 2 is that writing opens new doors. So as we already learned, it unlocks opportunities you didn't even know existed. Because when you share your knowledge, people will see your expertise. And this leads to companies, recruiters, and your peers seeing you, and in best case, they reach out to collaborate or offer you a job. So consider this. A blog post could lead to a job interview. That's totally possible. A tweet could spark a mentorship opportunity, or a LinkedIn article might attract a recruiter's attention. And this is important to note, that you don't need to be an expert in your field, and you only need to know more than the person 2 steps behind you. And if you're wondering what to write about, this actually is a good test to take, this kind of 2-year test or 6-month test. Just think about where you were 6 months or 2 years ago and write for that person. So what problems did that person have? So what problems did you have 6 months ago? And you now know the answer for. So answer those problems, write about those problems, and you will be helping the person a couple of steps behind you. All right, let's get to the reason number 3. So writing boosts your learning. This is actually something I've learned a couple of years ago already, and it's related to teaching and writing. Because whenever you are writing or teaching about something, it helps you learn faster. So when you write about a topic, you are forced to understand it deeply, which means that you need to be able to explain it to someone else, and you can't explain it if you don't know how it works yourself. And here's how it works. So researching for an article deepens your understanding, teaching through writing uncovers blind spots, and summarizing what you have learned locks in key concepts. And just a few actionable tips how you can advance this is about, or test this is about, write summaries of books, tutorials, or courses. So whenever you read a book, write a summary about it, what you learned, what your takeaways were. You could also document solutions to tricky bugs. So this helps you understand them better, but it also helps your teammates and your peers to solve those same bugs if they run into them themselves. Or you could turn project learnings into case studies. So all these are great actionable tips on how you can boost your learning through writing. Then reason number 4 is that writing unlocks the benefits of teaching. So I kind of touched on this already in the last point, because writing is teaching and teaching makes you better. As said, that's because in order to teach something, you need to understand it yourself first. So this matters because teaching showcases leadership potential. So when you're teaching something, people right away see you as someone who has leadership potential. And it also helps others foster community and connection, and clear explanations make you stand out in technical roles. So if you can write and teach clear explanations for features or bugs or just how to get something done, that really makes you stand out in technical roles. So you can teach by creating a step-by-step guides or tutorials, answering questions on Slack, or sharing lessons from your projects on X or LinkedIn, for example. Then reason number 5. Writing levels up your everyday communication. So as developers, we write all the time, actually. We are writing pull requests, GitHub issues, Slack messages, emails. It's all writing. And clear communication in these areas can make or break your team's success. Writing well means fewer misunderstandings and faster progress. So whenever you can communicate clearly, it makes the life of you and your teammates and peers much easier. Consider these benefits. For example, clean pull request description saves reviewers time. So if you have made the pull request and it's easy to understand, it's clear, simple, the description of it, it's so much easier to review it, and people will gladly review your pull requests. Clear Slack messages prevent unnecessary back and forth. So if you can right away communicate clearly, you can save a ton of back and forth messages in Slack or Teams or email, for example. And concise email improves collaboration with clients and stakeholders. So, for example, if you are communicating with a client, that's super helpful to be writing clearly and understandably, so that the client understands what you mean and they get a good image of you. So a few tips how to get started is to use bullet points in Slack for clarity. So this is a great hack that I'm using nowadays all the time. Bullet points actually make writing so much clearer, and you can right away see how many bullet points there are, how many different things you need to read, and it's easier to read because there is some space between them. This might sound a bit weird, but like it's easier to read if there is some space between the sentences instead of if these sentences were just after each other. So it's easier to read. Then write concise, actionable pull request descriptions. As we talked about it, it makes the reviews much easier. And then proofread messages before hitting send. And nowadays we have the undo in most email clients, but still just proofread it before you send it. Make sure everything is fine, and that should make your life much easier when sending emails. And last, reason 6, writing clarifies your thinking. So whenever you need to put something in writing, it sharpens your thinking, because when you write, you're forced to organize your ideas. And this skill translates to better communication, especially with non-technical stakeholders. You'll explain complex concepts in a way anyone can understand. And this is crucial because clients value clear communication over technical jargon, especially if those are non-technical clients. It's so much better to write clear text, clear messages, and avoid all the jargon and these words you might use with developers, for example. Then teams trust leaders who articulate ideas effectively. So if you can make your idea come across, or if you can say your idea in a clear, concise way that it's easy to understand, doesn't sound complicated, teams will trust you much more as a leader. And then clear writing also helps you advocate your own solutions. So these were the 6 reasons I wanted to talk to you about, and I hope you can see now that we developers too benefit a lot from sharpening our writing skills. And this email I showed you here was the same one I sent to my newsletter subscribers earlier or a couple of weeks ago. And I actually send weekly emails on improving your skills and career as a software developer. So if that's something you're into, you can sign up from the link in the description. And I really hope you found this video at least somewhat helpful. And if you did, please leave a like, comment, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel too. I'll see you in the next one.